Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Growing Orchids in Jamaica. I have often been asked a question, how do I fertilize my plants? Well, today guys, I will be taking you along with me on my fertilization journey. In case you are new, please subscribe to my channel so you see just how I grow orchids in Jamaica. Now, if you want to see just how I fertilize my orchids, just stay tuned. Okay guys, I actually have a routine where every 7 days I actually go through a fertilization process. And so one of the first things that I do is actually water the plants, and that is what I'm going to be doing right now. So I will water them first. I actually soak them and give them a really good watering, and that is exactly what I am doing right now before I add any fertilizer at all to them. It is important to water them so that when you fertilize, you will have less damage or burn or any adverse reaction to the fertilizer. And so I like to water them first so that when I'm fertilizing, they are actually a bit moist. So it's actually a process. I will water and ensure that they are properly soaked. I will mix whatever it is that I'm going to be using to fertilize, and once I do that, then I will come back perhaps within an hour or so and add the fertilizer to the plant. It is so important to have adequate water when you are growing orchids, because there is a myth that orchids do not like to be watered, but it is in fact not true. Orchids love to be watered. The difference is they love to dry out in between watering, and therefore they don't want to be watered every day. But when you water, ensure that you give them adequate amount of water. That is so important. And this watering routine, I actually do it perhaps every 3 or so days, depending on what is happening. If it is a really hot season, I may do it more frequently. So you have to assess your situation. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's good to have a routine, but sometimes you have to break that routine depending on what is happening. As I say, if it's really a hot season, you may have to water more frequently. And you also have to observe the plants, because the truth is they speak to you. So if it is a case where they need to be watered, you'll see sign of that, because they look a little different, they look pale, and so forth, and that will let you understand that the plant actually needs to be watered. It's actually an intense process, but it is very important that the plants are watered and saturated very well. And when you're doing this, you do it early in the morning so that the plants will have the entire day to dry out. That is very, very, very important. Or if you are going to be watering in the afternoon, then you ensure that the plants will dry out by 6. Welcome back guys. Let me now give you a close-up of the things that I use to actually fertilize my plant. First of all, you are going to need your measuring spoon. So I have this set here with different sizes from tablespoon to a 1/8 teaspoon, and that is what I use. Now I also have this bottle. This bottle I actually use to dissolve the fertilizer prior to adding it to my stock. Of course, you are also going to be needing a spray bottle. Let me introduce you to my battery operated spray bottle. I was inspired to buy one when I saw Cher from the Philippines using hers, and this one is a really small one. It actually only holds 3 gallons when most of these knapsacks tend to hold 5 gallons. So I specifically bought a small one so that I'm able to manage it. And guys, I am enjoying using it. It lets you go much faster than the ones that you have to pump. All right, so I'm also gonna need some spreader or sticker. And the spreader, what it does, it actually helps the chemical to stay on the plants when you spray it on for longer. So my main fertilizer is gonna be 20-20-20. It's actually a balanced fertilizer, and of course, for those persons who understand the chemistry behind fertilizer, where you have the NPK, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So it has 20% nitrogen, 20% phosphorus, and 20% potassium. There are some fertilizers which you'll see with different numbers, and all the numbers mean is the percentage of the different nutrients, and each of them serve for a different purpose. The nitrogen aids in the growth of the foliage, and it's very important. The phosphorus aids in the growth of the roots and so forth, while the potassium now aids in blooming. Another important fertilizer is your magnesium sulphate. It is important because it also helps in the chlorophyll of the leaves, so it makes your plant greener. It actually purges the plant. So this is an important one too. Perhaps once per month you can use in your fertilizer routine. And importantly too is calcium. Now I use calcium nitrate, but you'll get calcium in different forms. These are granules, and these granules, what I do, I dissolve them and use them into my fertilizer routine. Calcium is very important to the plant because it helps to strengthen the plant, and so it's important that you add calcium to your fertilizer mix, which I do. Also, occasionally, perhaps once a month, I'll put a little iron chelate in the mix. It's not a must because some of the fertilizers, especially the complete ones, comes with all of these things already in there, but I tend to buy them single. And also I will add some vitamins to my fertilizing routine, and so the vitamin that I'll be using is the Super Thrive. But there are different vitamins on the market. Super Thrive is not the only one, because there is one called Sure Thrive that is made locally. Basically, these are the things that I use in my fertilizer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use also this bucket to mix it in, since I am mixing to fertilize all my plants. So I am going to do a 5-gallon mix. So I'm gonna catch my water, and in the meantime I'm gonna be doing my mix in small portion, or dissolving the chemical. So I catch the water here. And then the first thing I'm going to actually do in my stock mix is to put in my spreader. That's the first thing you put into the solution. I'm going to add my spreader. So I've added my spreader to my mix. Now I'm going to add in this I'm making 5 gallons, and therefore I am going to put 5 teaspoons of 2020. A tablespoon is 3 teaspoons, so I'm going to start with a tablespoon. So that's 3 teaspoons, and then here 4, and that's 5. And so I'm going to dissolve this to put into my mix. Gotta ensure that all the chemical is actually dissolved properly, because you don't want to have any solid going into your spray bottle, because that will help to clog. So this looks pretty fine, and so I'm gonna throw it in. Now I'm gonna add the magnesium sulphate. So let me get some water again. I also add a teaspoon to the gallon. So I agitate, and if you notice here, I am actually mixing them out singly, because my stock mix is a bit heavy. I'm keeping it on the ground. What I do, I strain it, because I don't want any solid to go into my spray bottle. So now I'm going to do my calcium. So it's also 1 teaspoon to the gallon. Now the calcium is a little harder to dissolve. So usually what I do, I'll put it down. I have a separate bottle that I would mix it in. So I would put it down for a little while and allow it to just dissolve on its own. Okay, and so I'm gonna pour this into my mixture. I use this to actually mix as I go along. So I'm gonna add just about a half a teaspoon of the iron chelate per gallon. So that's 2.5 teaspoons of iron chelate for the 5 gallons. And to this, I'm also gonna add my vitamin solution. It's a 1/4 teaspoon to the gallon. So that's for my vitamin. And I'm going to again agitate and add to my stock solution. Mix. Okay, so I have completed mixing my 5 gallon fertilizer mix. Now I am going to add, my bottle can only hold about 3 gallons. I will just add whatever amount that can hold in there. So I'm gonna use this, and I also have a strainer in here. So let me use this bucket to add the mix to my spray bottle. Okay, there it goes. Trying to get this on my back, so I'm going to put it up here. And there it goes. And it's pretty easy, and it's not heavy. Because it's motorized, it's gonna make a little sound. So I'm just gonna basically give you a quick view of me doing that. And I can go very quickly because of the amount of chemical that it pushes out. My lecturer would say life is easy. Yes, this really makes my life a lot easier. I am so happy for it. It really does. And you go by very quickly. You cover a large area in a very short time. So guys, just what you have been asking for, my fertilization routine. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And so you never miss another video, please subscribe to my channel. And as we say in Jamaica, just follow back on me. This is the Orchid Duck, and I am growing orchids in Manchester, Jamaica.